Hello and welcome to the Dutching channel. Cheltenham Festival Day 2 awaits, but we do have a little bit of bad news today. The Glenfarclas Cross Country Chase has been abandoned. So they're hoping to run that now on Friday, which means a lot of the races have changed time today. The 1:30 is now scheduled for 1:45, so that will be off in about just under 10 minutes. Then our second race, this is the Brown Advisory, will now be off at 2:30. The 3:15, the Coral Cup, will now be off at 3:15, and the Queen Mother's Champion Chase will then be off at 4 o'clock. And the last two races, the Grand Annual, still going to stay at 4:50, and the off time for the Champion Bumper will stay at 5:30. So our first race then is the 1:30, which is now 1:45. And the runners that go to post here are number 1, Ballyburn, number 2, Handstands, number 3, Il Atlantique, number 4, Jimmy du Sol, number 5, Ginkgo Blue, number 6, Mercury, and number 7, Predator's Gold. The non-runner here is the Grey Man. So going into our spreadsheet and back to the first race, we've gone for Ballyburn here, and the price of that is most probably going to be well odds on, so I think this would be our only bet of this race. So let's dive into Betfair and have a look. Yep, trading there at 1.56, 3.7, nearly 3.8 million staked on this race so far with Betfair. And you can see the over round here, 101.1, pretty good, but that's why I always tell you, if you're going to have a bet closer to the off rather than taking these bad prices, especially the night before or early on the day. Wait till 5 to 10 minutes before the off. So Ballyburn then, we've got 1.56 here to £50. We can't have any more on that because that's our maximum stake with the Dutching that we do. So the calculator comes out 1.56 SP times our £50 would return £78, and you will have a fee to take from the profit there of £28, and either Matchbook or Smarkets or Betfair will take up to, and I say up to because everyone has different deals at different times of the year, but you will pay about 5% fees on this. And there we go, you would pay something around £3.90 on your £28 profit. It won't affect your stake money. If you're looking just to do something else in the race, I've come up with Predator's Gold to be the second selection, but don't forget, even if you was going to do an each way bet in the race, with now having that non-runner, there are now 7 runners and there will only be 2 places. And Ballyburn, we think, should take one of those on a clear round. So that's about it for there. They are now going down at Cheltenham. We'll quickly look at some of the other races that we've got today. As I say, the next race, the Brown Advisory, is now moved to 2:30. I've gone with Stay Away Fay here, and our second selection is Fact to File. Into the 3:15 now, which is the Coral Cup, 25 go to post here. We've got a host of runners. but we will do that closer to the race. We've got 10 running for us, and the bottom one's got the little stake of our money left to put on that one. The fourth race, which is now the 4 o'clock, will be the Queen Mother Champion Chase, and again we've got one selection here, John Bond and El Fabiolo will be our second selection, and that will be the only 4 we're going to have pictures for to show you the racing. And the last 2 races, just like yesterday, we will do them on audio service. So the 450, the Grand Annual, which hasn't changed time. We've got 9 selections here running for us, and the odd one under that of St. Roy. And into the last race, which is the Champion Bumper. That hasn't moved time either. That's still at 5:30. Again, we've got 10 selections here. So we'll see how we get on with those. And the one at the bottom underneath will be our one for little money, where we don't get £100 back. So that's pretty much a 6 race card here today. But we're going to start with the first race, which is the Gallagher. And hopefully we'll start with another favourite from the Willie Mullins yard and Paul Townend. So we will go over to ITV for pictures.
But all eyes are on Ballyburn. He's the last of the horses coming down that chute, and I'm really keen to get eyes on him and see how tractable he is when he comes off that gallop. You can see him head buried to the floor. He's in danger of actually kicking himself in the chin, but will he be able to pull up when Paul Townend wants him to? That'll be the key. See that? He's just reaching for him a little bit. And these next couple of minutes are all crucial.
Yes, great shots at Ballyburn going to the start. He's bottled 2-1 on. Saw one punter, an Irish punter, go up to John Hughes. Had £5,000 cash to win. 2,500 Ballyburn.
Well, one of the biggest talking horses of this festival is Ballyburn, and no one knows him better than Donald. Donald, you ride him every day. Does he give you the feel of a machine?
Yeah, I think he's good, John. I think he can go at the top, very top. Like, he does everything easy at home, so hopefully he can do it here.
You've been in Willys for 13 years. You've seen lots of different horses. I mean, this horse comes with a lot of hype.
Yeah, so I was hoping he can live up to his height there. I think he can. Today's just, I don't know where he'll go now next, but hopefully he can get his head in front today and do the job.
Best of luck, Donald. Best of luck.
Thanks very much.
Well done, thanks.
OK, team. Ruby mentioned the tactics. AP, how does this play out?
Well, Ballyburn, when he won his 2.5 mile in early, he was a little bit keen, Ed, so whether Paul might drop him in a little bit and try and get a little bit of a lead with him, but he looks a pretty straightforward horse in the hole. So he does. Predator's Gold was a little keen last time, but I think this trip will probably help him better. The horse of Tony Blooms, he said he was going to probably ride him a little different as well. So look, you'd like to be riding Ballyburn. I think Paul Townend will keep it pretty simple.
I think the main thing is getting him in that rhythm, whether that ends up being closer towards the 4 or whether he can relax in a rhythm with a bit of cover. Wherever it is in the field, he just needs to be nice and settled and get into a lovely stride.
I think they'll probably end up dropping Ballyburn in a little bit, but I think if he is too keen, I think Paul will probably end up letting him stride along.
You agree with that, Ruby?
Yeah, I would, and I wouldn't be surprised if Paul sat just behind the pace head in case he does latch on a little bit. But look, he will be pulling, his head will be down. But if you look at Paul Townend's feet, his feet never go forward. He never has to put his body weight against him. He's only holding him with his hands, so actually he's not that strong.
By royal appointment today as well. John Infidel in conversation with the Princess Royal, who just loves anything equine. Her Majesty the Queen here as well. Michael Wainwright on the right there. He's got Gar Law running tomorrow in the Ryanair. As the horses make their way out, and you think of the great days, these Irish bankers, AP, in a race like this, Easter Brack, Denoli, and so on. The roar if this horse wins. What's happening, Ollie?
Well, just to let you know, Ed, there's 4.4 million now traded on this race. Ballyburn, very solid at the top of the market.
Some roar when they AP. It'll be Denoli-esque, maybe.
Yeah, I think it will, Ed, and as you pointed out yesterday, statistics tell you that there's a very good chance he'll win.
How many times have we seen Harry Cobden on the front end around Cheltenham this year? He's lining up towards the 4. Handstands has got to improve, but I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to dictate a couple of races throughout this afternoon.
Here we go then on day 2. Richard.
So it's the Gallagher Novices Hurdle. The start is away in the middle of the track. Just being called forward. And they're off and racing. So the crowd setting away for our first race of the day. Mercury is the first one to show with handstands. Ballyburn, the market leader, diamond colours red cap, jumped that well and puts himself right amongst the leaders with that head bowed. Racing in 4th place early on is Jinko Blue in red and white as they head towards the last of the 2 flights in the centre of the course, with Predators Gold settled in 5th, Ile Atlantique racing in 6th place, and right at the back is Jimmy de Soy as they all take flight number 2. So out in the lead it is Mercury who's setting the pace. Ballyburn racing in 2nd place, almost kissing his ankles. Racing in 3rd is Handstands on the outer of Jinko Blue as they'll turn into this long steady turn. In 5th place is Predators Gold, maroon colours with the white star. Ile Atlantique, who was very strong in the betting in the last 10 minutes or so, in blue and white. And at the back is yet another Willie Mullins horse, Jimmy de Soy. So out in the lead it is Mercury, giving a lead to Ballyburn, and the distance between them as they've reached the crown of the home bend is round about 2 lengths. In 3rd is Jinko Blue on the inside of the green and maroon colours of Handstands. Predators Gold is 5th, Ile Atlantique is 6th, and last of all is Jimmy de Soy. So the runners make the turn. The first of the flights in the home straight comes up pretty swiftly after the corner, and it looms now. Mercury from Ballyburn in 2nd. Jinko Blue right into the bottom of it, gave it a belt. Is joined by the improving Jimmy de Soy, who was right at the back and has moved forward now to sit closer. Handstands is there, Predators Gold and Ile Atlantique under restraint at the back as they just close up slightly behind this leader, Mercury, who's still on the run between flights 3 and 4 and still got over a furlong before they reach the next obstacle. So out in the lead it is Mercury. Ballyburn has just raised his head a little higher in 2nd place with Jinko Blue on the inside of Handstands. Predators Gold comes next, Ile Atlantique. And having closed up briefly, Jimmy de Soy once again is the back marker. But the whole field are clustered together by round about 5 lengths or so as Mercury leads them on towards flight number 4. So Mercury arriving at the next obstacle. Ballyburn just moved out to get a sight of it. It was fast and fluent. Again, Jinko Blue was the one that was into the bottom of it. Clattered his way through. Didn't lose much ground. In 4th place is Handstands, and it's interesting that Paul Townend is definitely keeping Ballyburn a little bit away from the inside track. The ground turned over, of course, yesterday, and that might be something we see increasingly more of as we head through the afternoon. Ile Atlantique moving closer in blue and white, Predators Gold, and Jimmy de Soy is at the back of the pack. So it is Mercury who turns left-handed and heads downhill now on towards the 5th. With Ballyburn in 2nd place. In 3rd is Handstands just ahead of Jinko Blue, Ile Atlantique, Predators Gold, and still at the rear is Jimmy de Soy. So Mercury heading on towards the next. Ballyburn still in 2nd place, Handstands in 3rd, Jinko Blue 4th. As again they all take that, and this time Jinko Blue again. That's the 3rd mistake. So his rider just lost an eye, Nico de Boinville, regathers the pedal. Jinko Blue, and he's had to reach down to regather the pedal. Thankfully a long gap between hurdles here. Jinko Blue has been a very cumbersome jumper so far this afternoon. So it's Mercury who heads towards the 5th last. Ballyburn in 2nd, Handstands 3rd, Jinko Blue, Ile Atlantique as they approach the next flight. Snatching at it was Predators Gold, who just comes off the bridle for a stride or two, but they're still well bunched. And they'll turn left-handed and begin the climb. So it's Mercury rising towards the 4th last, and they're catching pigeons. In 2nd place races Ballyburn. In 3rd, Handstands, Jinko Blue on the inside in 4th. In 5th place, Ile Atlantique, Predators Gold. And last of all is Jimmy de Soy. They all pop over that flight, and they all remain tightly bunched here. So the race really yet to develop. The order has been pretty much unchanged. Jinko Blue just given a little bit of a hurry up there as they head now towards the 3rd last, reaching the high point of the racecourse. They will turn downhill head towards 3 out. Mercury from Ballyburn still poised. Ballyburn travels well, but so do a couple in behind. Predator's Gold and L'Atlantique just behind Handstands, who for the first time is ridden along. So it's Mercury down towards the third last. Ballyburn in second place, Handstands having to be ridden. Away to the left-hand side is Predator's Gold. L'Atlantique continues to travel well, but is still a little bit further back as they race towards 3 from the finish. Ballyburn jumped that well, Predator's Gold did not. Gave it a clout, and it's still Mercury who leads. Ballyburn poised on the leader's quarters. 3 lengths to the improving L'Atlantique. Then Jimmy DeSoy, Handstands, and after that error, Predator's Gold has got work to do. Mercury's doing well out in front, but Ballyburn is still poised in second place, and a contemptuous look behind by Paul Townend. We'll see that Jimmy DeSoy has come out of the pack at a big price for Sean O'Keefe. L'Atlantique now being gathered together to try and see if they can lay a glove on Ballyburn, who turns towards the last and is now given an inch of rain. Goes 3 lengths clear from Jimmy DeSoy. Mercury, then L'Atlantique and Predator's Gold down towards the last. Ballyburns to lose at the final fight in the Gallaghers, and he's nimble over it. Jimmy DeSoy in second place. In third place, L'Atlantique. In fourth place is Mercury, but Ballyburn, living up to the hype, just has different gears from the rest. And another for Paul Townend and Willie Mullins. In second, Jimmy DeSoy for Willie Mullins. L'Atlantique is third for Willie Mullins. In fourth place, Mercury for Willie Mullins. And fifth, Predator's Gold for Willie Mullins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but led home by one that was head and shoulders above the other 4. What a great prospect he is. Ballyburn wins the Gallagher in style.
And the Irish banker of the week goes in facile fashion. Not quite Michael Dickinson, who did it in the Gold Cup. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the master of Close Sutton. And AP, that had a wow factor, didn't it?
Definitely had a wow factor, Ed. You've seen some brilliant horses winning here over the years, but he was really, really impressive.
Well, there we go. What an impressive horse that is. And as he was saying as well, the last person to do that in the Gold Cup was Michael Dickinson in the late 80s. And he's done a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in this race as well. But an absolutely brilliant performance by the favourite, Ballyburn. They were just running for places, the rest of them. But yeah, so that was our first selection. Didn't really take no picking. But that was another winner for Willie Mullins and Paul Townend. Just another day at the office, I think, that today. But it's a good start from us as well. And the Brown Advisory will be next. And don't forget, that doesn't start until 2:30. So we will be back for that. So thanks again for watching the video. And we'll be back about 10 minutes before the off.